Hi, my name's Lucy Roper, and I ride a unicycle. And I happen to believe that riding a unicycle should be something for everybody. Now, I'd like to give a speech at TEDx Youth to convince people of this. My speech will be about bikes versus unicycles. It sounds pretty trivial at first, but I happen to believe it's a very, very important speech which could address the issues of obesity and that hot topic of global warming. Now, experts have been trying to convince people to ride their bikes to work and to school because it is such a great form of exercise. And, it's also very good for the environment. So, globally, bikes have been a really big hit. In Amsterdam, for example, over 40% of all traffic, including cars, is bikes. That's a lot of bikes. And you see heaps of bikes in places like California, Berlin, Barcelona, but not in Sydney. And it's not because we're not riding our bikes or we don't know how. I mean, if you go down to your local park, you'll see heaps of people riding their bikes. But it's just because Sydney is not a very good city for riding bikes to work or to school. And this is for a number of reasons. Firstly, the issue of our bike paths, or lack thereof. Our bike paths consist pretty much of a little lane on the side of the road, which is painted magical green, which somehow protects the bike riders from the four-wheel drives coming to collect them. So that's a pretty big deterrent right there, death and injury, serious injury. And that is a big thing, sitting between Sydney and riding bikes to work. And then you've got the issue of distances. Because Sydney is a really hilly city, people don't want to ride their bikes all the way to work. They want to ride them to their bus stop or to their train station, hop on, and then ride it the rest of the way. But you can't do this because you can't take your bike on the bus. While you can take it on the train, it is very, very difficult. It's a big hassle, especially in peak hour. And you have to buy an extra ticket for your bike. So that leaves you with the option of chaining your bike up at your bus stop. And this really isn't worth it because usually when you get back, your bike's been graffitied or peed on by dogs. I might not mention that in my speech. Or, worst case scenario, someone has taken off both of the wheels, which really sucks. So those are the main two issues standing between Sydney and riding bikes. So because everyone in Sydney still wants to help the environment and still wants to live an active, healthy lifestyle, I think that we need an alternative to bike riding that doesn't, involve the government rebuilding all of our roads. And I think this alternative should be unicycling. So unicycling combats all of the problems that bike riding has in Sydney. With the idea of the bike paths. Well, unicycles you can simply ride on the pavement and they're very easy to steer, so you can dodge pedestrians and you can hop on, hop off quickly and easily in case you want to walk for a particular section of the pavement. And then with chaining up your bikes, well, you can just take your unicycle on the bus. Every bus driver lets on the unicycle because, they're just as small as a school bag. Or you can take it on the train or any form of public transport. And then, when you get to the other side, you can just stick it in your locker or stick it under your desk because it's so small. So I'd talk about that, and then I'd tell the audience about the ergonomic benefits of riding unicycles. With bikes, lots of people get neck and shoulder problems because of the hunched over position they are in when they're reaching forward to the handlebars. But with unicycles, you're sitting up straight, you've got great posture. They're pretty much the equivalent to one of those special posture chairs. They're so good for you. And of course, unicycles are very fun. So to kind of conclude my speech, I talk about how easy it is to get into unicycling. You can buy them from pretty much, not anywhere, but a lot of places. You can buy them from Aldi, for example. That's pretty easy. And I'd talk about all the different places you could learn to ride a unicycle, or books you could buy to teach yourself how to ride a unicycle. And I'd show a video of someone being taught how to unicycle, just so they can see how quick it is. And by this stage, I would have ridden around on my unicycle a bit while giving the speech, just to make it a bit exciting, and I'd tell them they could come and try unicycling after the speech. So, that's a kind of basic outline of what my speech would be about. And I think it'd be really exciting, especially because they could follow up on it and they could actually get a unicycle if they wanted to. So it's true, it's not as life-changing as some of the speeches at TEDx Youth. but I think it would be very interesting, and I think it would be a cool speech. So I hope you think so too. Thank you.